So, congressional intern Eric Tarpinian Jackham was killed after a shooting just blocks away from the White House last month. President Trump telling his mother, quote, "Eric will be held in my heart, and I promise never to forget or forgive the terrible act that took him from us." Here's Eric's mother.
He loved people. He didn't, he was very open. Everyone liked him. This is a serious crime a mile from the White House. This isn't a joke. And then it happened again this weekend. Shooting again, a little girl, 3-year-old died. I mean, this is not a joke. And, you know, the the mayor has to get serious with this.
Joining us now are Roger Ream, president of the Fund for American Studies, which is starting a scholarship in Eric's name, and Congressman Ron Estes, who Eric was interning for. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Congressman, I want to start with you first because Eric is added to the list of the many Americans that live in the D.C. area. Some people are natives, some of them are visiting and working within the city. But just in July, there's been 92 homicides up to this date of the year, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better in Washington, D.C. What's going to be done?
Yeah, it's really a sad story because you have such a great person like Eric, who was such a nice young man. And, everybody that he greeted was friendly, and whether he came in office or talked to him on the telephone. And, as a parent, you really want your children to have opportunities like this, to come here in our nation's capital. And you want to have a safe environment. You want to make sure that, our government is actually helping promote and make sure that we have safe cities in the United States.
Yeah, Roger, we've been told that they're going to solve this problem. We've had a ton of different mayors, but we know this exploded during COVID as well. And it doesn't seem like there's any consequences for the people that are committing these terrible acts.
Well, I'll echo the congressman just by saying Eric was an intelligent young man with so much promise and had so much to contribute to the world, and would have been an instrument in peace for the peace in the future if he had lived. And it's clear we need more resources in policing, but we also need to enforce the laws against violent crime and even petty theft that we see on the books. When you see videos of young kids going into drugstores and pharmacies and stealing things with no consequences, that leads to worse crime in the future. And so we need to enforce the laws. We need to improve the schools in our cities with programs like school choice that will improve the quality so kids learn values and morality. And it's a cultural problem when we have kids being raised with outside of two-parent families.
So true. Congressman, tell me about Eric. What type of intern was he? Tell me about his passions.
Yeah, he'd been with us only a month, but he'd really fit into the office, and it worked out really well with him being around and becoming part of our team as we focused on helping provide services for the constituents in the 4th District of Kansas. He was a friendly face and voice when people that he met came in and talked to him, and he was actually so enthusiastic to be here in Washington and being able to participate in actually helping make our government run. And it's just sad that, when you have people that are actually going out and doing bad things, that, our law enforcement and our prosecutors won't prosecute them for the crimes that they commit against, great people like Eric.
Yeah. Roger, tell me about this new scholarship that you have named in his honor. What will the scholarship do?
Yes, his parents were generous in suggesting that people who want to honor Eric will contribute to the scholarship that we've set up at the Fund for American Studies. And it'll help other students like Eric come to Washington for a semester to learn about American government, our founding principles, our free enterprise system, while gaining practical experience through an internship like Representative Estes offered Eric this summer. We'll bring hundreds of students here every year to study in the nation's capital, work our damnedest to keep them safe, and we hope this scholarship will find other young people as outstanding as Eric to participate in our programs in the future. I encourage people to support it. Go to our website at tfas.org Eric and help us honor this young man with so much promise in the future.
Well, it's a great cause, and it honors a young man that was taken away from us far too soon, and it was totally preventable if the leaders would have done more. Hopefully, we'll see some change coming to D.C. real soon. Roger, Congressman, thanks so much for joining the program this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.